Hello and welcome to another Embrace Joy Yoga flow. Tonight we have a short, slow flow. So this is a great flow to do before bedtime. Just a nice, easy flow with minimal standing postures. And we will get started in our easy seat. You can take, if you have with you, props such as a blanket, a thick blanket such as this will work really well for sitting. And you can have a set of blocks handy if needed for later on in the flow. But for now, we'll start with this blanket. Go ahead and bring that blanket under your sit bones. Come into an easy seat. Sitting up nice and tall. This blanket just gives you a little bit of support under here to help you keep that posture. It can be easy sometimes to slump forward, especially sitting here for several breaths. So the blanket kind of helps give you some support under those hips. So we'll start here in our easy pose. We'll take what's called Samavriti Breath or equal ratio breath, which means you'll breathe in for a count and breathe out for that same count. So we will start here, breathing in for a count of 3. And exhale. Breathe in. Once more. One more final breath in through the nose. Out through the mouth. Go ahead and just take some shoulder rolls. Can take your neck and do some neck rolls clockwise and counterclockwise. Just release any tension that you might be holding in that neck. Then we're going to take a big inhale. Bring your arms up overhead. As you exhale, reach your right arm behind the back of your head and rest that left hand on your right elbow. Feeling a stretch in your shoulders. Inhale, exhale, come back to center. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, left arm comes down behind your back, touching your shoulder. And then your right hand rests on top of that left elbow. Big inhale, arms up long. Exhale, bring them down. Again, inhale, arms up. Exhale, cactus arms coming out to a 90-degree angle with your arms here, squeezing those shoulder blades together. And then back up. Again. Once more, up. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Up. And bring those arms down. Now you can bring your legs out long, still sitting on this blanket for support. Keep your knees slightly bent here. We're going to do a little forward fold. You can bring your arms underneath your legs. Resting that chest on the tops of the thighs. Keeping those shoulders pressed down. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale. You can take that right knee, hug that knee up close so it's touching your chest. Hug that left arm around the leg. Bring that right hand behind your hip and take a twist. Gazing out over your right shoulder. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, slide that right leg down. Pull that left leg in. Hug that left leg with that right arm. Left hand comes behind the hip. You can gaze out over that left shoulder. Feeling that gentle twist in the spine. Maybe a gentle stretch in the neck. Inhale, come back to center. Bring that leg down. Now we're going to take a butterfly pose. So this is similar to our easy pose here, but we're going to bring the feet together. We're still sitting on this blanket for some support. You can have your feet as close in towards your groin as you'd like, or you can have it further out, just depending on the range of motion that you have at the current moment with your hips and the flexibility. But remember, this is gentle, so you don't want to feel too much sensation. Just trying to keep it nice and relaxing. So you can go ahead and just gently take those hands, interlace those fingers, press down gently on your head. You're not even really pressing your head, you're just kind of putting a gentle little touch as you gaze down. Getting a little stretch. You can feel some sensation in the shoulders and the top of your back. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, bring those hands down behind your hips, fingertips pointing out towards the front of the mat. And then inhale, stretch that back. Exhale, shine that chest forward. Big inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Maybe give your feet a little massage here. And then just take another big inhale. And then slowly fold forward. Big inhale, come back to center. Exhale. Still sitting on the edge of your blanket here. Take your right leg out to the side. Bring that left foot to kiss the inside of your right thigh here. square your hips with your right foot and you're going to take your right hand to your left hip. And then you're going to stretch to the side. Gaze is looking up towards your elbow. Big deep breaths. Big inhale. Exhale. Wonderful. And now we'll switch to the other side. That left leg comes out long to the side. The right foot kisses the inside of this left thigh. And then you will bring that left hand to the right hip and then stretch to the side. Inhale. Exhale. Wonderful. Now we will come onto all fours, removing that blanket, setting it to the side, coming to all fours on our mat in a tabletop position, keeping that back nice and as straight as possible. Obviously, it can't be perfectly straight, but we just want to make sure we're not sinking or hunching. Keeping those wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We will go ahead and walk our hands over to the right side of the mat, stretching that side body. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, you're going to move over to the left side. Big inhale, come back through center. Exhale, find stillness here in this tabletop position. Inhale, lift your right leg and your chest and your head for tiger pose. Let it go. Inhale, lift the left leg and the chest and head. Exhale, let it go. Once more on the right. One more time on the left. Excellent. Now we are going to take a child's pose just for a few breaths, just to bring our attention back to our breath, back to the sensation of the air moving in through the nose, filling the lungs and the belly, and then releasing that air. Feel the gentle stretch in the back. Inhale, slide your arms forward, shift your hips up. Keeping those knees stacked under the hips, melt your heart to the earth into puppy dog pose. Bring that forehead to the mat if you can. If your forehead does not touch the mat, you can put a block underneath your forehead for some support. Inhale, moving that block out of the way. Bring your right arm up and underneath the left arm, bringing that right shoulder and the side of your head to meet the ground. For thread the needle. Inhale, right arm comes back up and down to meet the left into that puppy pose. Inhale, left arm up and underneath the right, bringing that left shoulder down to the mat. Perhaps you gaze up towards the sky or the ceiling. Sounds prettier to say sky. Inhale, bring that left arm out and back. We are going to slowly lower our bodies down to the mat, but keeping yourself supported on those elbows, coming into Sphinx pose. So in Sphinx pose, you have your elbows out like the Sphinx. You're going to have your elbow underneath your wrist, your elbow underneath your shoulder. Just a gentle back bend here. Maybe you tilt your head from left to right or right to left. Maybe look up and down. Bring that chin to chest. Nice gentle movements. Take a big inhale. Begin to press up into Cobra, feeling a little more intense back stretch there. You're going to tuck your toes, walk your hands a little bit closer. Begin to push yourself up to downward facing dog. And if downward facing dog is not accessible to you right this moment, you can take tabletop. Another option for downward facing dog is that you can keep a bend in the knees. If you're in downward facing dog, just pedal it out for just a few moments, keeping that navel drawn to the spine, keeping those palms firmly planted. The elbows are not facing out like that, but the insides of the elbows pointing towards the front of the mat. Shoulder blades pressed down your back. You're going to look to the top of the mat. Slowly walk those feet up into a forward fold, and then hold onto your elbows here and just kind of dangle. This is called Dangling Pose. So here we don't want to try to look like this where we're trying to force our knees to be straight. It's better to bend and kind of let that chest naturally fall onto the tops of the thighs. You want to try to keep your back and knee safety in mind as you do these postures. Inhale, lift halfway, hands can come to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, keep your arms straight out in front of you. Step your left foot back just a bit. That left foot is going to be pointed towards that left-hand corner of the mat. Fold forward. For pyramid, this is a place where you can use blocks underneath your hands if you have them. You can keep a bend in the knee if you need to. Clasp your hands behind your back. Inhale. Little back bend here, opening the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And inhale. Come forward again. Just about halfway. And then go ahead and bring those feet together back to that dangling forward fold. Again, lift up halfway, arms straight out. Step that right foot back, keeping that right hip pressed forward. You're going to fold forward again, keeping a bend in this knee if you need. And you can use blocks for your hands if needed. Clasp those hands behind your back. Big inhale. Gentle back bend, opening the chest. Fold forward again. Go ahead and step your feet forward. This time, keep your feet about hip width apart. Bringing your arms down, and I will turn this way so we can see. And then we're going to come down for a Yogi Squat, Malasana. You can have your arms out in front with your hands on the floor for a little bit of support. Just kind of getting an opening in those hips. Maybe you rock back and forth a little bit. This is also a place where if you're feeling some pressure, you can actually sit your sit bones on the edge of a block here, or even a folded blanket. We'll go ahead and come down to kind of a kneeling position. Bring those big toes together, knees as wide as the mat, and then press back into a wide child's pose. Again, just some gentle hip opening here. Drop your forehead to the mat. Roll your forehead from side to side. Letting go of any tension. Keeping your breath steady. Inhale through the nose. Out through the nose. Going to come up into tabletop. From here, take that right foot, stretch it out long, and then you're going to take it to the outside of your hand for a runner's lunge. You may have that left knee lifted, or you can keep it lowered, whatever feels most accessible for you. And in this lunge, we want to keep this knee stacked over the heel. We do not want it to track over that ankle. So we want to make sure we are keeping that alignment to protect our joints. From here, we will go ahead and bring the top of that left foot to the mat. Make sure that's flat. And then we're going to shift our hips back. Reach back with that left arm. Bring that right arm up for a reverse warrior kneeling, similar to the reverse warrior posture standing. And then exhale, twist open. Bring the hands down. Gently bring that right knee back to meet the left, back in tabletop. Take a moment if you need to reposition yourself. Inhale, that left leg comes out long. Exhale, bring it to the outside of your left hand for that runner's lunge. Again, keeping that knee in line with the ankle so that we're not pushing forward like that. And keep that nice and straight line right there. Lower that right knee, Bring the top of that right foot to the mat. Bring your right arm back. Left arm back, reverse warrior. And twist on the other side. Come back into your tabletop position. Sit your bottom down. Coming here to a seated staff pose, we are going to prepare ourselves to do supported fish. So you can kind of have a rolled up blanket here or a block. So I'll show you both just to decide what feels best. So if you have this rolled up blanket, you can just kind of lay back on that blanket, and for fish pose, you're gonna put the crown of your head onto the ground like this. You can do this position without a support, but many people, including myself, enjoy having a support. So that's what it looks like with the blanket. You can also put a block so it kind of comes down between those shoulder blades. Nice steady breath, feeling that stretch through the neck, really opening up that throat area. Inhale, slowly begin to lift up. Remove whatever support you have underneath your back gently. Lay down all the way onto your back. Bring your knees up. Inhale, lift that right leg high. Bring that right ankle to rest on top of the left thigh. You can hold behind that left thigh with your hands. Reverse pigeon. Gentle hip opener here. Feel free to extend that left leg if you like, making a 4 shape, figure 4. Wonderful. And now we'll do the other side. So inhale, left leg comes high. Exhale, left ankle to the top of the right thigh. Gently pull back on that right thigh with your arms, keeping those shoulders on the ground. Don't hunch your shoulders up, just stay on the ground. Extend that right leg if you like. Lower down. Stretch those legs out long. Inhale. Bring that right knee to the chest. Gently curl up for your nose to kiss your knee. And lower down. Big inhale. Grab hold of that knee as you exhale. Little curl forward. Inhale. And as you exhale, hug that right knee in, bringing right nose to knee. And one more time with the left. Hugging that knee to the chest, touching that nose to knee. And gently lower down. And then we'll just take what's called legs up the wall. But in this case, if you're not near a wall, take a block or a folded up blanket, put it underneath your tailbone. So as you can imagine, if you are up against the wall, if you lay all the way back, have your legs up against the wall, so your legs would be supported. But this is also a great option you can have either a block, a blanket, or any kind of big cushion or pillow that you have could work. And legs up the wall is gentle inversion. And this is just great for doing before bed because it just takes that pressure off the feet. Can relieve a lot of tension and stress and anxiety. Especially if we're on our feet all day, moving and doing a lot. It's a great way to decompress. We could stay here forever, but now we'll just gently bring those feet down to the mat. You can remove that blanket. We'll take Shavasana. Now you can take the traditional Shavasana, but also feel free to bring that blanket again, fold it up, and you can put that underneath your knees, and that feels really lovely. So just kind of tuck those shoulder blades in underneath you, let those feet just kind of roll out. Let go of any tension in your body. Focusing on that breath. Enjoy this moment of solitude and rest. Slowly begin to bring awareness back to your body, back to your breath. Wiggle those fingers and toes. Take a big inhale. Sigh it out. Maybe you roll over to the right or the left, coming into the fetal position. Gently pressing yourself up into an easy seat. Taking a moment to inhale those arms up overhead. Exhale, bringing your hands to heart center. Remembering to send yourself love and compassion. To give yourself grace. And to just maybe let some things go. I hope that this flow has helped relax you. Thank you for practicing with me. May you be filled with light and joy. Namaste.